Gaming on a PC is easy, and games are really cheap on Steam, especially with discounts. However, a good gaming PC is hella expensive. Consoles are cool and way cheaper than a gaming PC, but having to constantly buy games can strain your budget. This is precisely the reason gaming phones are becoming more and more widespread every year due to being able to fulfill two requirements at once: having a mobile phone and also a handheld gaming device. In this episode, we'll be looking at the Asus ROG Phone 6 Pro alongside the ZTE Nubia Redmagic 7S Pro and the Xiaomi Black Shark 5 Pro. Which one works the smoothest? Which is the most comfortable to hold? And of course, which is the most expensive? Everyone, especially the gamers, hit those like and subscribe buttons to help us grow our channel so we can continue to bring you the best content. Thanks to Monster Valley for sponsoring this video. Let the facts speak. If we were to first take a look at the displays, the ROG and Nubia both have AMOLED screens, while the Black Shark has an OLED one. Although this isn't a groundbreaking difference, I must admit that the first two definitely have a nicer feel to them when scrolling through the phone, with a special shout out to the ROG. They're all around the same size, with 6.8-inch displays on the ROG and Nubia and a 6.71 on the Black Shark. While the ROG Phone 6 Pro has a 165Hz refresh rate, the Black Shark has 144Hz and the Nubia has 120Hz. Keep in mind that a lot of games are capped at 60Hz, so the hardware is going to be more important than the display's refresh rate because you're not really going to want your phone to drop below 60 while you're playing. Touch sampling is very important in games for the phone to be receptive to your every touch, and two of them have a very high standard at 720Hz, with the Nubia being one step ahead at 960Hz. 720Hz is more than expected for gaming phones though, so there's no need to be skeptical of the lower number. Peak brightness hits 1300 on the Black Shark, 1200 on the ROG, and only 600 on the Nubia. While 600 does sound really low compared to the other two, I didn't really have any issues while gaming indoors, and Black Shark's display actually didn't give me the most pleasing experience. Lastly, and quite importantly, it seems that the Nubia doesn't support HDR playback, as we've also read some reports that the Netflix app doesn't seem to recognize an HDR-capable display. This is quite interesting, as both the Black Shark and the ROG phones have an HDR 10+ display. Moving on to the most fun part, gaming. I'm just gonna straight up tell you my experience as a gamer, since I spent quite a bit of time playing Genshin Impact, Call of Duty, and Real Racing 3 on all of these phones. They're quite resource intensive, which is why I was quite happy to see all of the phones keeping up a good standard. All of these premium gaming devices are equipped with the newest Qualcomm Snapdragon 8 Plus Gen 1 with plenty of RAM to go around up to your choosing. 18 gigs on the ROG and Nubia and 16 on the Black Shark. Can you play these games with 8? Sure, but more is always better. Well, almost always. You've got Armory Crate on Asus, and I also have this on my computer at home. It's basically the be-all end-all for gaming on Asus devices, as you can optimize pretty much everything right here. It even gives you recommendations for games that you can download based on different refresh rates. When you're in the game, you've got the Game Genie helping you out with adjusting just how you want to play. From battery saving to max settings on the X mode, to recording macros and optimizing air triggers, this thing has it all. Same goes for ZTE on their device, and their app is accessible if you flick the red switch on the side. It's fairly simple to use and has all the customizable settings that you need. Similar to Asus's Game Genie, there's an in-game menu that you can access from the side. Although it doesn't look as fancy, it still gets the job done. The Black Shark is no different, with a sliding menu that looks pretty cool with an option to access the game config, and this is your special gaming menu that you can customize important things like the display and the performance depending on what you want to experience and how much battery you have left. Temperatures were fine on the phones even with the fans on the ROG and Nubia turned off to preserve some battery, but if you're gonna be playing for over an hour, I would definitely recommend keeping the fans on to keep the hardware in the device fresh. In both conditions, with some of the most intensive games, the phones were still comfortable enough to hold. I love gaming in any circumstance, and my mom used to say that the consoles were glued to my hands. I used to play games on the train all the time, as well as playing them in between classes in a nice park and even while walking in the street. Just be careful though, it's very easy to forget the time when you're fighting enemies, so you just might catch a cold and get sick. That's why we advise you to wear a multifunctional trail windbreaker jacket produced by Monster Valley. It's wind resistant, waterproof, and ultra breathable, which means it has you covered for trail running, active living, or even casual wear. From keeping you warm and dry when it's humid and rainy, to protecting you from bugs, it's got a ton of solutions for protection against the elements. It has been designed with a variety of hidden pockets that stay concealed when you don't need them and are always available to hold a ton of your personal objects. It's also very easy to fold it up and turn it into a small bag for you to easily carry, which was actually one of my favorite features because I've actually never seen a jacket be able to do this before. If you're actually camping or climbing, it has a whistle right here that you can blow on if you get lost, or maybe if you need someone to know your exact location. All in all, a great product with many uses, and we've got the link in the description for all you cool guys that want to look even cooler, right as I get back to the fans I was just talking about. The Nubia has a cute little one with some nice lighting that has 2 adjustable settings for speed, and the ROG has, well, this. It's a fan as a separate accessory that you can attach to the second USB-C port here on the side, and the phone basically turns into a Gundam character. There are even 4 physical buttons on the fan that can give you even more customization options while you're gaming. Combined with the air triggers on the sides, you actually have almost the same amount of buttons as a console controller. Now, while this fan does look extremely cool, it is kinda bulky and not that comfortable compared to using the phone without it. However, it's still manageable and keeps the temperature down all the way so you can game as long as you want. The fan of the Nubia is way smaller compared to this, but a bonus is that it's already in the phone, meaning you don't have to get it separately. It also does help that it's more comfortable to hold and use it this way. The Black Shark doesn't have a fan in the phone, but they have a separate accessory called a magnetic cooling fan, which we haven't had the luxury of testing, and I've heard that it works pretty good. All 3 devices are able to stay below 40 degrees Celsius in the most intense conditions, and I'm pretty sure that this should be good enough for everyone. The only complaint I have while gaming is that the speaker placement of the Black Shark 5 Pro is a bit annoying. If you want to tightly grip the phone, your hands are likely going to get in the way, so you have to hold it like this with your fingers on the physical triggers on the top, which got tiring after a while for me. I like that I can grip the phone like a handheld console. I'll give Game Boy as an example since I'm 30 years old, but it's not that big of an inconvenience. These triggers are really helpful though, and thankfully, the Nubia also has them, and they're touch sensitive like the ones on the ROG. Black Shark by far has the coolest ones in my personal opinion because they're physical buttons, and I grew up with consoles that had them, but I can't guarantee how long they'll keep working since you'll be wearing them out over time. The Black Shark doesn't have a headphone jack like the other 2, and I honestly think it's something important for gaming phones, but Black Shark have their own Bluetooth earbuds, so that may be the reason why. We also did some benchmark testing to back up my own gaming experiences with the phones, and the results were actually fairly similar. The ROG phone was head-to-head with the Nubia in the Geekbench test, and the Black Shark wasn't too far behind. Same goes for the 3D Mark Wildlife Extreme Stress Test, but the Black Shark's stability rating was lower than the other 2, which means that over repeated and long time usage, its performance does slightly drop, albeit not by that much. They all got over 1 million points in Antutu though, and if you remember our benchmark testing video, only the A15 Bionic of the iPhone was able to reach this level, a further testament to these 3 devices having insanely good hardware. The ROG has 2 3000 mAh batteries which combine to make a 6000 mAh one, while the Nubia's is 5000 mAh. The Black Shark's battery is a bit smaller at 4650 mAh. All 3 of them are at a respectable level, but the ROG phone ensures the longest uninterrupted gaming sessions, though this may change if you're also using the big fan without charging it. Endurance levels were also fine. After 1 hour of tempo run with the Wi-Fi on, there was 93% of battery left on the ROG, 91% on the Black Shark, and 84% on the Nubia. The benchmark test also left the ROG phone with 79%, the Black Shark with 65%, and the Nubia with 70%. And here we have the cameras. Don't be expecting too much guys, because I've yet to see a gaming phone that has a great camera. In my opinion, Asus should have added a better camera setup because this phone is around $1,300, and that's a huge amount. Still, the Black Shark and the ROG are a step ahead of the Nubia, as I think this phone has the worst camera out of all of them except for portrait mode, which interestingly enough is the worst on the ROG phone. This mode is just software all around, so I guess they didn't tweak it that much, but what's even a bigger surprise is how bad the front camera of the ZTE Nubia Redmagic 7S Pro is. I mean, this looks like something out of 10 years ago, so no selfies for you guys. The device has similar quality issues in videos, as there's quite a bit of shaking in the middle one, so I guess no videos for you either, because this to me is just not usable. The Nubia will be taking last place in the night photos as well, because the details are just not there and photos are darker than they need to be. Night videos continued the pain train for this phone, as the focus was just going in and out all over the place, so if you like the phone for gaming, then go for it, but the camera is just not good enough at all compared to the other two. It was very hard and tiring for us to dig up all this information, so I hope you can make it worth our time by just leaving a simple comment, subscribing to the channel, and also liking this video. Thanks for watching my guys, and take care.